Happy New Year to you all, junkies. It's Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live, the weekly geek video podcast, talking about all the stuff that you love to talk about endlessly. We hope you all had a very happy holiday and a very festive New Year. I'm Kenshiro once again, and joining me is the usual compatriots. Got GQ and the great Dadakuji. What's up, guys? Right on, right on. Laryngitis, he says. I like it. Right. We got we got other people. We got Super Nerd Plus, we got Sabrina, and we got Fallen Marvel. What's up, guys? Oh, look at this guy busting out his Christmas gifts. Isn't that precious? Oh no, I was gonna leave Eric for last, actually. I was gonna leave Eric for last, man. Yeah, I was gonna leave Eric for last. Yeah, I ain't forget about him. No, man, you just trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Eric, say hello. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. Right. Right, we made it. So in case you haven't seen it, today is the 100th episode of Culture Junkies Live. We spent a lot of time last year talking about geek stuff, and we're gonna spend all tonight talking about it. It's not gonna be just an hour. It'll probably be going on a little bit longer because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So anyway, let's go ahead and get right to it, because we got a whole bunch to talk about, guys. So first thing I want to ask you guys is what was everybody's like favorite movie? I mean, obviously we just had Star Wars, we also had Justice League, we had Spider-Man Homecoming, Wonder Woman, you know, a bunch of other really great movies that came out last year. Baby Driver, I know a lot of people really liked as well. So what was everybody's favorite movie of 2017? What was it? Really? All right. Huh. You're not a Spider-Man fan, are you? No. It's Spider-Man pajamas.
I'm probably gonna have to go with Thor. I think I enjoyed the most out of Thor this year. Spidey's at a strong second. It's kind of teeter-tottering between Justice League and Wonder Woman for third. Obviously, Wonder Woman being the superior movie, but I don't know. Like it's kind of teeter-tottering for third place, those three. But yeah, for me, it was Thor. Like that movie was awesome to me.
Okay, I gotta fight you on that one.
Why?
And the reason I said,
man, it's a new year. You gonna start fighting already?
I'm gonna fight you because I'm saying, like, I never seen anybody from Norse mythology or even medieval mythology or whatever you want to call it crack so many jokes.
Hey,
just saying. I mean,
hey,
you know,
hey.
I think it made the movie better, man. If they would have made that movie all serious and
it should have been dark.
Hold on,
Well,
real
we
quick.
still got Marvel's Hercules that cracks jokes in the comics. Okay,
Right.
we borrowed from him.
Well, here's why I think that worked, because it was character development. Thor went from what he started off, basically pretty serious, pretty straightforward, kind of the butt of the jokes because he didn't get human life, to merging into, okay, I've hung around people enough, I've befriended Avengers and different people, I see how other people are, so I can kind of see the fun in various things. Now granted, all of Asgard being destroyed is probably not the best time to be cracking jokes, but at the same time, it was like he wasn't on Asgard. All that stuff was going on. He was on, planet Sakaar with his adopted brother, who he basically grew up, beating up most of the time. So that's the time to have your fun. And Thor is a different person in that movie, so I accepted that.
GQ, your analogy is so great. In that way, in that response,
you can't disagree with him.
You can't disagree with him. You can't. It's very poetic.
Man, don't be kissing ass. This is a brand new year. Come on now. Yeah.
It's not. Hey, it's not my fault. I just start off right when I open my mouth, but I'm right.
Okay.
Now, for me, I'll have to go with Wonder Woman. I think not only was it just a great superhero movie and important to the genre, and lifting a female lead as a whole, it was just a really well-made film, and there aren't many in the genre that I think rise to this upper echelon. And I may have said this on the show before, and I have in other arenas, but I think Wonder Woman really had a lot going for it, and the cinematography was great, and they found just the right team in front of and behind the camera with it. And not to spend too much time on it because we have other people to talk, but I'd say number 2 for me was probably Logan. That's another one I think is just a superhero film that's in a higher echelon, and just not holding back and letting it go for the R rating and giving it Hugh Jackman's finale. Granted, they probably could have handled Xavier's death better, but Logan almost gave it to Justice League because it is a fun flick, but it's not perfect. And when I'm looking at it, my third isn't even a superhero movie. I have to go with John Wick Chapter 2 because awesome action, awesome choreography, just so spectacularly shot. Like that third act in that mirror exhibit, just an achievement, cinematically. And then the song Plastic Heart was like the best Bond theme that was never a Bond theme. There was just so much going for that great cliffhanger and everything. So that's my top 3 for 2017.
I have to admit, surprisingly, nobody really said John Wick. I think a lot of people forgot about John Wick.
I was gonna say John Wick too. Like he said, all 3 of the movies that I was gonna say.
Okay, kudos to Eric for actually naming some really, really good movies. Let's see. Nobody said Star Wars. Even with all the controversy, nobody said Star Wars.
I'm about to say Lego Batman.
That's a big thumbs down for me. No.
About to say Lego Batman because Legos and Batman are like 2 of my favorite things, and actually that movie was really good. It wasn't as campy as like other Batman movies. It was serious, but it's also just like making fun of itself, and Batman is good.
Yeah. It definitely made fun of itself.
It's like one of
definitely.
I don't know. For me, it's like one of the good Batman movies.
It was a good Batman movie. I watched it on the plane going or coming from the Philippines. I forget which one.
Yeah,
but I thought it was pretty good how it did acknowledge. For me, I wouldn't put it in my favorite, but I acknowledge that it was a good movie. Most definitely.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman though, I would probably be my second, just because it's Wonder Woman.
We got some ones in the chat. Nobody said Get Out. Domino Sotelo said Get Out was really good.
Get Out a lot.
Let's
see.
Wait a minute,
was it Get Out
no, that came out like January, February.
Was it 2 years ago? Was that 20?
No. That was last year.
It was okay. It was January, February last year. See, that's the thing is, some of those movies that came out earlier in the year, you tend to forget about because the ones we're talking about now are in more recent memory, and that is a difficult thing because like I saw quite a few good movies. Almost every movie that I sat down and watched this year, I liked. So I can't say that it's kind of hard to pick one because
yeah, there was a lot of good
I
movies.
pick and choose. Yeah, I pick and choose. I can pick.
Okay, well, fine. Pick two.
It deserves
Two is very difficult because I really like Wonder Woman. I really like Logan. I really like John Wick. I did like Star Wars, despite the rest of you Star Wars fans out there.
So did I.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I did like Star Wars too. It was good.
I like Thor. I like Homecoming. Man, I had a great year.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good year in the cinemas. I
even like Valerian and Dark Tower. Suck it, internet. I like
now Dark Tower. I liked, and that's probably because I wasn't hampered by reading the Stephen King book. Speaking of Stephen King, It also came out this year.
Oh yeah, It. I forgot about It. That was a very entertaining movie, I have to say. I look back and watch the original one. I really don't give a fuck about the original one now. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I watched it. I was bored as shit. I'm like, oh my god. When I remember watching as a kid, it was scary, but as an adult, it's like this shit is boring as hell.
That's kind of how I feel about that Jack Nicholas one. What the hell's called?
The Shining.
Shining was fucking boring.
Don't disrespect the Shining.
Boring.
Don't disrespect the Shining.
The Shining is just.
I'm gonna tell you something. Steve, you just said his freaking name.
Kubrick.
No, that's Stanley Kubrick. Why the heck can I remember his name? Stephen King. Excuse me. Brain fart, man.
That was a hell of a brain fart.
It was. Stephen King.
Wipe your brain. Wipe your brain out.
Hated Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining. Stephen King, guy who wrote it, did not and does not to this day like that movie.
A lot of people didn't like Stanley Kubrick's iteration of his movie. Even the guy who wrote Clockwork Orange didn't like the ending of Clockwork Orange. So we all know the ending is way different from the book.
I don't know nothing about the book, man.
Hold on. But as long as you ain't trying to use that TV version of Shining where he ends up, and now granted, I think that one's supposed to follow the book where he ends up on stage when he's graduating. Like, dude, no, dude, no. Jack Nicholson frozen in the snow is the ending I enjoy.
I find
I also like Blade Runner. I thought Blade Runner was good.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see Blade Runner yet.
It was good.
Yeah, I got it. I just haven't seen it yet.
I don't have to watch it. I didn't buy that. I'll take that back. Mad Max is the one that I bought.
You didn't buy Blade Runner. Oh God, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
I never liked the original.
The movie about really? Oh my gosh! That's right. I forget you like iPhone, so they can't have nothing to do with Androids.
What you got to do with it, Dido?
Hey.
They were called Nexus 6. That was the names of the androids in Blade Runner was called the Nexus 6. It was the Nexus 6P if I remember correctly. I'm not joking. I was just like, they're Nexus 6. They're androids.
Let me say something. Diamond Osateo said The Disaster Artist, and I've been hearing about this movie for the longest. Even the original movie that is based off The Room. I'm kind of intrigued to see what this movie's about. I haven't seen it. I heard
how want to see it.
A cult classic it is. And I'm all about cult classics. And even though I heard
we should do that.
We should do that because I'm really excited.
The freaking group showing up the room. We need to do that. Oh, hi, Mark.
I guess it'd be the best time for me to look at it because I've really been like hovering around watching that movie since I heard about it. So,
and the funny thing, I remember hearing the movie for years, but never watched it. And I watched like certain clips of it, and I was like, "This movie is bad," but I'm still laughing at it because it's like that 90s,
I know
that late night Cinemax type of acting.
Wow.
That's
I really enjoy it.
I think that's an insult to the Cinemax movies.
I really enjoyed Transformers: The Last Night. I thought that movie was a masterpiece.
You are a liar, sir. You do not.
You said it was magical.
It was magical. It was a masterpiece.
You cannot entertain foolery on
I almost cried, man. That's Oscar-worthy acting right there from Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I cried. All right.
Watch that movie.
It was probably the horror movie of the year, but something below the radar. That was the video. Cult of Chucky was pretty good.
I heard that was decent.
I've been hearing
Jeepers Creepers 3 also came out too.
That was garbage.
Anybody watched
nobody went to see it.
I bootlegged it.
Eric is right though. I mean, Chucky is one of those because that one I think flew under the radar because it was I think with me because I didn't realize how many Chucky movies actually made. I'm like, holy crap! I'm like, wait, how many did I miss? I'm like, damn, Son of, Seed of. I'm like,
Bride of.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, Bride of I saw because of Big Pimpin' Jay's crush in there. What's her name?
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly. Yeah, that's
Jennifer
Big,
Tilly.
That's Big Pimpin' Jay's big like crush all day, every day. So I saw that one because I remember her in that, and then of course she becomes the voice of the doll. But it's like, like after a while, I'm like, when they had the one with the little kid doll, I'm like, okay, now I'm done. Like I can't.
I checked that after Bride, to be honest. So
No, this is, Cult of Chucky's darker, like maybe the older ones you'd expect similar in tone. I missed the previous one, which was Curse of Chucky, but I think that's the one that more so returned it to its roots. Even though every film in the series has been written by the same guy, and he's directed like the last three, which is kind of funny because he directed Seed of Chucky, which was a bit campier and tongue in cheek, but I guess it was his decision to go dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that makes sense.
Cult of Chucky was one of the best, if not the best, in the series, in my opinion.
Okay,
and just
I'm about to,
shot certain
I would hope so by now.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Tank goes through the skylight and the glass falls down on the chick. Just have to see how that scene's shot. Good stuff.
Okay, I will definitely give it a chance.
Diamond Esateo on Facebook said, "Get out."
Well, yeah, we talked. I mentioned that before.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that before.
He also said Baby Driver willing to say
Which
welcome.
I still have to see. I still have to see Baby Driver.
Baby Driver.
Same here.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's what Fast and the Furious should have been years ago.
Could have been.
Hey.
If they didn't decide to become the 18.
Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. I thought Fast 8 was pretty fun.
Fast series is what it is. Like,
yeah, man,
they're very self-aware. They know what works for them, and they just go with it. So it's
that's
like,
right.
Almost
it works.
Almost all of them know what works for them.
Dude.
Well,
You're gonna have one.
Right.
Almost all of them know what works for them because one of them lost his damn mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Tyrese. Forgot he's not quite as important as he thinks he is.
Yo, man, when he was talking all that smack to The Rock, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, do you know this dude is like king of social media? Get the hell out of here.
It's like, dude, they'll get Bokeem Woodbine to replace your ass so fast. I'll be like, yes. We'll just switch you out. Sorry, because The Rock is the reason that franchise is making what it's making.
I mean,
yes.
It is because let's face it. Like, the game changed when Fast 5 came out. Like, it just did. Like, the man brought in like so much to the series. It's like, hey, I mean, Tyrese, you own one, man.
He certainly was on one. Absolutely. All right, so
next movie's going to be in space.
My movies would have to be Wonder Woman is a pretty damn close, like, is up there. Like, at first, I do not like the lead actress. No, I still don't. I still don't like the lead actress. But I will give it props for being the only fairly successful DC movie that they've got. But it's not what? Hold up. It's not top billing though.
This is almost like a troll pick from him. Not only does he not like Gal Gadot, he's really just shitting on DC in general by saying this.
Here's what Wonder Woman represented. It represented a director that got it. Not only that, it was like the studio actually got behind it, and that's what they needed, and then they forgot about that within their next film. So I think that's what the issue is. It represents hope, which is kind of messed up because Superman's supposed to represent hope. But anyway, it represents no, for real, it represents hope for that studio. And the thing is, it's like if they can get back on that track and then have like Jeff Johns. Basically, just do the Kevin Feige thing. I'm sorry. That's all. That's really what it is. If they can do that, their films can be great. But for them to not have another movie until Aquaman the end of this year is ridiculous. So that messes with me. I did like Star Wars, but Star Wars is like so close to like the end of the year last year that it's like in that Oscar territory where they're trying to be like, here, it's a movie that you just saw, so it's fresh in your mind. So I can't. I don't know. I would honestly have to say Thor was probably my most fun movie and movie I enjoyed the most out of last year.
That's a little surprising. That's a little surprising to me. All right, so let's switch gears. We already went to movies. Let's switch it. Let's go to not TV shows. Let's go to video games. Like, what were some of the best video games that you guys played this year? And it doesn't matter what what platform it was on. Whether I'll even allow mobile games. Like, was there like any really awesome games that you guys that came out this year that you just absolutely love to play? I already know what Q's gonna say. He's gonna say Friday the 13th, the game. That's gonna be his pick because he's playing that game all the damn time.
For me, it was Final Fantasy 15.
Like, good pick. I loved it.
I was hyped for that game. Like, it was kind of weird because this was me coming off the 13 series, which I've grown to loathe over time. So when they dropped 15, and I know it was basically a culmination of stuff that they have been talking about for like the last 10, 11 years, and then they finally find a direction for it, and you look, and I'm looking at it, the more I looked at it, the more intrigued I got, and I just got hyped for it. And long story short, I wound up getting the Ultimate Collector's Edition of it. So I dropped a pretty penny on it, and I was happy with the purchase. I still love the game. That was the one for me for this year. So mine was Final Fantasy 15.
I'm not going to forgive Square Enix or Square Enix or whatever you want to call them until they release my damn Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming.
If they don't do that, I'm not buying nothing else they make until they come out with that game. At least episode 1 or whatever the hell they're going to do.
CGQ, the thing is that I would feel that way because I'm kind of in the same boat with Kingdom Hearts 3. So
it's coming.
It's coming, but it's like, see,
man, they've been saying that for years.
They have, but let's face it, Square Enix has us by the balls. Like they do.
Hold on. And Dadakuji can back me up on this. They're getting close to Capcom milking of their remakes and remasters and re-releases. It's like, dude, and they had what, Kingdom Hearts, and then they had Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and then 2 point something remaster. I'm like, hold on. How many times do
the 2.8?
Look, they definitely be doing that, but like they're never dethroning Capcom in that department. Let's just be real.
We've been waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3 like everybody waiting for a Dr. Dre album. It won't happen.
What are you talking about? Wasn't it like 2 years ago?
No, that's not a real album. Listen, that wasn't a real album. That was put together.
They've become the unicorn. I'm telling you. And then it's like even on top of that, Square Enix still needs to tell me what is up with this with that random Avengers game that they're making. So they still need to tell us more about that.
Well, the one that's kind of like Arkham.
No, we don't know what it's going to be like. They randomly dropped the trailer like early last year. Like Square Enix literally like randomly dropped a trailer they were making. It was Crystal Dynamics, and like they're making an Avengers game, but they dropped that one trailer and we haven't heard anything else from it yet.
We probably won't.
It's about to be the next Duke Nukem Forever. That's what's going to be.
Hey,
oh.
Exactly.
Man, should we also recount our favorite vaporware / shovelware that never got to come out that we've been waiting for?
No, it came out. It just
finally came out.
I don't remember. I don't even remember when it came out. That's like how
it was that bad ago. Yeah, it was that bad
4 years ago.
All I know, all I know is that we definitely need to get some more stuff because we wound up getting a damn Bubsy game before anybody else.
Yo, you ain't lying.
Really?
Yo,
I walked in the game.
Like, where did that come from?
Like, what?
Yeah,
the new Bubsy game did come out.
I'm still wondering where this came from. Like, who asked for this?
I asked the store clerk. I was like, who asked for this, man?
Right.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know how this got on the shelf.
2019.
Dude, don't. I remember renting that game. I was mad as hell. I was mad as hell when I rented the game. I was like, what is this?
And where's the Resident Evil 2 remake? It's been over 2 years since Capcom announced they were doing it, and they had that shirt that said, "Do it." As hilarious as that was,
Man,
But-
Eric, they're gonna remake Resident Evil 7 before that one come out.
But
Right? You know, I was gonna say because actually, no, they might remake Resident Evil 4 for like the 18th time or something like that. But no,
Oh yeah, we'll see it on the next generation as well.
We're talking like a ground up remake, like how they did with one on the GameCube, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. But we haven't heard anything of it. And Resident Evil 2's 20th anniversary is like I think first quarter this year, so they've already missed it in one way. If they can get it out before the end of the year, yes, you're still hitting the 20th anniversary. But I mean, all this coming soon with all these games we've been talking about, it's like you're not coming soon. I mean, if you are, just turn on that washing machine you're sitting on. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're just waiting to release the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. That's what they're going to be focused on.
And that's why you don't buy fight games as soon as they come out, because they always hold you, especially Capcom. You got Street Fighter V Arcade Edition coming out.
I'm getting that for free. I ain't worried about that.
Yep.
Well, I am too, because I bought the other one.
Ultra Edition. with
Ultimate
like,
Ultra
with like
King.
17 more characters for like $40 a pop.
right.
All I know is, hey, they are coming out with that Street Fighter Super Mega Collection. I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
actually
arcade
caught my
edition.
attention.
Oh no, yeah, that one. Yeah, I want to get that. That's supposed to be coming out actually next month, isn't it?
That's soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
all-
really
all
soon.
I know-
2019.
Oh, it's
all
all
I
on the
know is
19th.
that-
Okay, yeah, that's man.
That disc is gonna be in heavy rotation at Fight Night, because that is
Indeed.
that's the collection of all the greats.
Speaking of Fight Night, my favorite game probably of last year besides Final Fantasy 15 was Tekken 7, and I've never really been a super big fan of Tekken, but I love Tekken 7. Not just because Akuma was in there, but the game is it's fun to me. It's more fun to me than Injustice and Street Fighter 4 ever were. I mean Street Fighter 5 ever were.
Geese
and,
out.
them adding Geese and then them adding Noctis later this year. It's awesome. It's awesome. Now, I will give credit to Injustice for like all the guest characters that they're putting in there. Like, they're gonna have the Turtles in there. I mean, that's gonna be ridiculous, man. Having the Turtles, me and Injustice. But them having the Atom in there, I didn't. Huh?
The Turtles about to have cheat moves in there. I guess.
Hey, man, you know what? I want them to bring back some of their
Atom is
supers.
cheating,
I want them to bring back some of their supers from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters from SNES. Yeah, man. I love that game. That game was awesome, man. I love that game.
Sabrina all quiet over there. What games you waiting for? She all over there looking like Ash Ketchum.
Oh no. Her favorite game was Lego Marvel Superheroes, wasn't it?
Okay, no, it wasn't. My favorite game was Uncharted: Lost Legacy.
Ooh.
Nice choice.
Okay.
And then number 2, Life is Strange Before the Storm. That was good.
Okay.
That was a good game. If you haven't played it, try it. But I mean, you're mad at Square Enix, so I don't know. Maybe not.
I have the first one. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, the Before the Storm game was pretty good, but I really liked Uncharted because I miss Nathan Drake. But even if he wasn't in that one, but I still like the game. I played like a lot of it.
That's fair enough.
I might get around to playing that one
It's a
eventually.
solid series.
It is. I played
it's solid.
part 1, and I got to finish 2, 3, 4, and then that one.
So basically,
I still need to finish 3 before I get to 4.
Hey, I played through part 1. I could say that. I played and beat part 1.
Hey, man, look, part 2 really won't take you all that long to beat. Like I beat part 1 and part 2 in a day. So
Also,
this wall.
how's that Yakuza coming along?
I haven't started.
Right?
I'm still trying to beat 3D Dot Game Heroes.
As they
Right.
say in Smash TV, good luck. You'll need it.
Heck yeah.
Right? Yes, sir. Hey, man, he'll never get through that wall. I mean, you know what? I have to give him kudos. No, I have to give him kudos because actually he's been putting out like them daily video game memory lane videos. Those are really good.
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching them, like us on our Facebook page and actually share them. We like put a whole bunch up there, and he's doing a really good job cranking them out. So maybe he does have a chance, but I don't know, man. We might put a bookie line on that on the over under how many games he ends up completing this year.
Before this year is over, all of these are gonna get beat. All of them.
Wait, all which ones? The ones in orange or which ones?
The ones in blue?
He said it.
The ones in blue. Before this year is over.
Okay.
All right. 9/31, January 2nd, 2018. Let's see where he is at December 31st, 2018. Let's see where he is.
And now you know why I'm not buying any games until 2019 because focusing on that.
You're gonna get Dragon Ball Fighters by osmosis.
Yo, bro,
Yeah,
you ain't kidding. Ain't no way you gonna keep that vow of not buying any new games this year. No way. Ain't no way.
We'll see, Dido. We'll see.
They're gonna mess up. They're gonna come up with the Yakuza Perfect Collection.
I already canceled my order for Yakuza 6, dude. Yakuza 6, Final Fantasy 7, God of War, Kingdom Hearts.
It's gonna be $20 on day one, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, we dare you not to buy this, D."
There's gonna be so many games he's gonna want to buy this shit, man. Come on.
I never said my wife couldn't give it to me as a present. I just like.
Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating.
It's not.
That's cheating.
But I'm not buying
it. That's acceptable. I can see that.
Man, what all the loopholes, man? Get out of here. All right, guys.
I've honestly been playing Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 5, but like Tekken honestly was a little bit of a letdown. 3 years in the making, and that was just like, this is all the content y'all have over 3-year arcade beta time frame. Like, that was
it's better than Street Fighter 5 at launch, though. Come on now.
Street Fighter 5 had Laura. I was good, and then y'all just couldn't handle the power of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow. You always know how to get to GQ, man. You always know how to get to this guy. All right, so for all of us out there that are comic book readers, obviously tomorrow is New Comic Book Day, the first New Comic Book Day of the year. But what were some of the really awesome things that went on in comic books last year? Honestly, if I had to pick, I mean, without question, DC came out on top. DC Comics came out on top last year. Like they were kicking ass. Like a lot of the stories that they wrote, whether it be Superman, whether it be Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lanterns. The Green Lanterns book, like my favorite character is Jessica Cruz, the Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern. I love her. Like she's the best to me. But overall, like almost top to bottom, DC is really killing it. Like I think because what they decided to do, instead of giving a whole bunch of people that couldn't carry a title like Marvel does all the time, you know how they love giving characters books and they know they can't sustain them. They actually give, like Captain Atom. They know Captain Atom can't have his own fully long book, so they brought out like a 6-issue miniseries, and they say his story will continue once it warrants it. So basically, they don't end up overextending themselves by publishing books that people don't want, unlike Marvel, which kind of went, trying to provide a lot of people say a lot of social justice warrior, PC books that weren't really written well. I mean, I think they would have been more accepted if they were written better. But to me, DC was absolutely killing it this year. They did a lot of really good stuff. Honestly, my favorite stuff that came out of it, besides the Green Lantern stuff, was Batman proposing to Catwoman, man, and just what happened after that, just how the whole evolution of Bruce Wayne as a character. It seems like he's actually grown into something different, and I can get behind that. As much as I lament that they just have this over reliance on the bat, they're actually really doing some good stuff with it. So.
I think him proposing to Catwoman is kind of like, fuck it, and nothing else I can do.
Damn, man.
That's what it sounds like.
But did you read it though? But have you read it though? No, have you read Tom King's run?
No, I heard Tom King's run was excellent. I have not need to get it because
like that single issue. So. And Fallen Marvel probably can back me up on this, but that single issue of what is it, Batman Annual 2, where him and Catwoman and Superman and Lois go on a double date to the carnival, and they end up switching. Man,
That was
Okay.
Batman.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the thing is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant.
That was the single best comic book of the year, in my
Of the
opinion.
year. It was so good.
Which did beat out Batman Annual #2, which was like an encapsulation
Part 1 of that. Yeah.
Life of Bruce and Selina together, and then they brought in like this new interpretation of Helena Wayne. Well, I guess what you said is good of a segue into, you know, what I would say about 2017 comics. Yes, Batman's my favorite character, but 2017 was just all about Batman retaking, you know, the top of the mountain when it came to comic books. Because Tom King, I'll be honest, for his first 2 arcs, wasn't that great. I mean, he's been a good writer, but I think he was finding his footing on Batman. And then once I Am Bane hit, he started taking it to a new level.
That was a good run. That was a good run.
Yeah,
that whole story arc was good.
Once the proposal happened, and then he went into the War of Jokes and Riddles, which is like one of the best Batman stories of this decade. It's like to rebirth what Court of Owls was to the New 52. It's that good.
It is.
And then since then, like the Double Date, you know, it's a lighthearted issue, but it was just such a fantastic character piece. And, like to see
so good.
Lois bonding like that, and then one more Batman comic to throw out there. It's still in progress. Issue #4 drops tomorrow. I'm trying to remember because DC sent out the review copies, you know, a couple weeks in advance because of the holidays, and I did get the exclusive preview on #4, which was I was really happy on. But yeah, it's Batman White Knight. You know, it's this out of continuity miniseries. Some of you have seen it. You know, this story, you know, with the Joker as a politician, and some people thought it was in continuity. It's not, but it's great to see these characters be so malleable and almost mythic in quality that you can do great stuff with them out of continuity. But you never know when the next Dark Knight Returns or Long Halloween's going to come along, and that's what White Knight is. We're only halfway through it, but this is one of the great Batman stories of all time. And what's great is Sean Gordon Murphy, who's writing and drawing it, is going right into a story with Scott Snyder after this, which I think is like Snyder's last Batman story for a while. So seriously, White Knight, 4 issues so far. I mean, you can wait for the trade, but if you get on it now, you're a part of Batman history. I mean, it's that damn good.
So, Super Nerd, what were some of the and Fallen Marvel? What were some of the like DC, Marvel books that, you know, kind of were really good this year?
What I've actually took to reading, I know I caught up on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comics, which has been pretty good.
Really good. Those are really good.
I really enjoyed, I think it was the last annual they did. And like they had like a couple of stories in there which really threw me off. Like they had this one story when they were showing like the origin of Finster.
Finster. That's the one I was just about to bring up. That, oh my god, that issue was incredible.
So freaking good. It was so dark and so good.
It was like, so dark. Wow. it was so dark, man. It was crazy.
It was crazy. Like that one was good. Another indie series I've been reading, I think it was Catalyst Prime XL. It's actually about this guy who's a speedster. He actually gets it sounds basic, but like he gets his powers like from some like meteorite or whatever. And the thing is, he's a speedster, but what's interesting about him is that while like he can use his speed and he can pretty much do whatever he wants, like during that time using the speed, but once he runs out of energy, everything that he did to his body catches up with him. So like every time he gets through like doing stuff, he has to run to the hospital so he can heal. So it's like really crazy. Like everything he does, like while his powers like on, like it just does havoc to his body afterwards. And like it's just starting. I think there's only like 4 issues of it right now, because I think they've been releasing them like bi-monthly, if I remember correctly. But it's an interesting book. So if you're looking for something like different, I recommend picking that up.
Cool.
What was it called again?
Catalyst Prime XL.
That sounds crazy.
That's a mouthful of a name.
For me, I think definitely IDW been putting out good stuff. Last year, the Ghostbusters run was really, really good. And then I think.
Oh, by the way, I did finally end up finishing Ghostbusters 101. Good stuff.
Nice. That's what I'm saying.
It was good stuff. Good stuff.
I think. Yeah, and then they got.
And yes, I agree with you. How they merged the answer the call Ghostbusters. That was good. That was good. Right, it made sense. It did make sense. I told you. It did make sense.
So,
yes.
I think they're doing a great job. IDW, Boom Studios. One of the books that came left field for me, and I think they're talking about making a movie of it, but Spencer and Locke. That book really just, I've never been excited for a comic book in years, and I've got all 4 issues. It was a miniseries. Basically, it's this detective and his sidekick, or think of Calvin and Hobbes, basically. But Calvin is the detective and Hobbes is his sidekick, but he can see it, type of thing. So. But it goes into like the backstory of how he became this way, because he had a terrible upbringing or whatever, and his parents was mean to him and abused him or whatever. And then he come to find out that his father was still alive, and his father was this big drug kingpin, and his father ended up killing his girlfriend. That type of story. So it hit hard when it came out, and the fact that when you see certain things in the book, you thinking is his pet panther, what's what it was. His pet panther, his doll panther, is alive, because the way he talked to him and interacts with him, you think is really happening. So it's like, wait, is he really alive, or is just his imagination that strong? So I think that was a great book. You should definitely pick up Spencer and Locke. I'm trying to think what else I've been reading. Paper Girls on Image. Image has been doing some crazy good stuff as always. Paper Girls. Brian K. Vaughan, once again, it's a dope series. If you love time travel, you love the 80s feel to it, it's a book you need to pick up. And the color scheme is just amazing with different colors they have with it.
Hey, who does that book Saga? That seems to be gaining a lot of traction.
Brian K. Vaughan and
that's what I thought.
Fiona Staples, yeah.
Okay.
It's like their Star Wars in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's his own universe and everything. Mm-hmm. And it's just a very, very big book. I mean, I still read the first graphic novel, and I didn't really get into it that much. So I need to check it out some more and see if I can get it, because I hear everybody talk how great it was, but I just didn't really, it didn't really click with me.
All right.
For that much.
I'm interested in reading it, because it seems to like be really, really picking up a lot of steam. I heard it might be optioned, and Tessa Thompson might be the titular character, or the one of the main characters, the main female character in the book. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. That's
like I said, it's his own universe. Dope. It's definitely his own universe. They went far and beyond to create this whole, these characters and the aesthetic of it. I like the fact they got their own type of universe. That it could possibly be multiple movies like Star Wars if they wanted to be.
Right. All right. Cool. So what was everybody's? I mean, we already talked a little bit about some of the stuff that we really, really loved, and we got more stuff that we can talk about that we really, really loved. But let's switch gears and let's talk a little bit about what's kind of some of our biggest disappointments. And I think we can all name already one right off the bat. What was our biggest disappointment? This little movie that came out in November that kind of didn't meet expectations. Nobody's expectations. I don't know. You guys know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think you're talking, and it's not so much the movie itself; it's everything surrounding it. I mean, yeah, Justice League could have been a better movie, but it's
should have been. No, not could have been. Should have been a better movie. As much as they had writing on that film had no business being received like that. None. Yeah, I'm so disappointed about that. And I liked the film. I liked it, but I can acknowledge that that thing is not what it should have been.
It's not. I
could go on a whole rant. I could. I'm not gonna do it. Go ahead, guys.
We could because like, hey, like I was actually like when you guys first seen it, I was glad that at least they had something going forward. But the thing is, I still remained a little bit concerned. Now, granted, I did come out liking the movie, but it was just so much room for improvement in different areas, namely the storytelling, a lot of the character development, like especially with Steppenwolf. The special effects were only good in here and there. Then of course, you know, the whole fiasco with Henry Cavill's mustache and just so on and so forth. Like it just had so many things plaguing it to the point where folks just were not interested in going out to see it. Now, personally, I saw it twice because I at least enjoyed it that much. The movie was not great. It was good. It just wasn't great. And I enjoyed it, but I can't help I can't ignore the faults that it had. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other folks agree with me, especially on the panel. And it was disappointing. Just straight up and down disappointing.
Yeah, and again, it's not Justice League and these characters itself. It's the suits at Warner Brothers that ruined it for everybody, and they have no one to blame but themselves. But we know they're not going to. They're just going to keep pointing fingers at other people. Even the most errant fan on the street knows what's going wrong, but they don't, and that's what's bad about the whole situation. Again, the disappointment is the storm around Justice League, and it's like, I don't know. We've gone on about this movie, you know, in our previous episode and everything, but it's, I don't know. Someone take it from here.
That was whoa.
I mean, he knew he was going to go. He knew he was going to go down on this whole little road, and he passed it off. Very well done, Eric. I appreciate that.
I mean, it's just a disappointment. It's a disappointment because you know that it could have been.
Stop! I know LGZ is not in the chat talking shit. I know LGZ is not in the chat talking shit. I know she not. I know she not. I know she is not.
Is she really? Hold on.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
She BVS and Justice League right now.
Man, let me tell you.
I didn't say it was like bad. I said that it was sad that it could have been better, and it's not. And it like upset
it's a lot.
And BVS is still trash, L.
It is trash. So much trash.
Yeah, sad that we're never going to get Darkseid in a movie because you wasted your one bullet on his fucking lackey. Congratulations.
Jesus.
That's
well, not only
Superman fighting with Batman in Lego Batman was better than Superman versus Batman.
Yo, she said it was great. It was not great. It was good. It was not great. It should have been incredible.
It was a pretty mess.
Not only
it was a mess.
And not only did they waste like Darkseid, like they threw his name in there on a horribly
throwaway line,
horribly post-dubbed like name drop. I'm like, why would you just throw that in there like, oh, for Darkseid?
I'm wondering if that was supposed to be edited out. Because remember how Darkseid was originally supposed to be in the ending, and then they had Whedon reshoot it, so Steppenwolf was a standalone. I'm wondering if they forgot to cut that, because I don't remember if we brought it up on the last episode, but you remember how over the summer we were speculating in that trailer that dropped at San Diego, like, oh, who was Alfred talking to at the end of that trailer? And a VFX artist said he was talking to Superman. But the problem is that scene got cut from the movie weeks before that trailer was released, and he said like everyone who worked on the movie was just groaning that they released this footage that was the talk of the town, and it was already cut.
Yep. Right. Well, again, like no, but here's why I say it was. Excuse me. Either it was one of the two. It was either dropped and forgotten about, or it was added just to kind of be like, oh yeah, we got to throw that in there because Infinity War is coming, and they got somebody that's just like Darkseid that's going to show up in Rec Shop. So because it's like if you even listen to how he delivers the line, it's like the For Darkseid part sounds so different. I mean, it's just like it's just off. He's like in the middle of this whole big, you know, and we're gonna do all this, and the greatness is gonna be great, and this and that for Darkseid. Like, what?
I like LGZ is like seriously pushing my buttons right now. Like she is really pushing my, like I'm trying to reach to the screen and force choke the hell out of her. This is ridiculous. She's saying the only movie better than BVS was Justice League. The only movie better than Batman vs Superman was Justice League.
Well, hold on now. Hold on.
It's not even hard to do.
The only movie better than Batman vs Superman was Justice League.
If she's talking about within the DCEU, she's actually 100% right.
She's wrong. Wonder Woman was better than Batman vs Superman. Come on.
Hey, Wonder Woman had its downfalls too.
I mean,
the power.
It was better than that trash.
Wonder Woman has been granted the power of love.
I'll take it a step further. I mean, shit. Even Suicide Squad was better than BVS.
Mm-hmm.
Marginally, but yes.
It was.
Marginally, but yes, it was.
Too. Not only that, man, it's like here's one of my big issues. They showed how powerful her little like bracelets, you know, slam is, right? First time she did it, obviously she didn't, you know, wasn't aware of it. But first time she did it, she like damn near blew up every Amazon within 20 feet of her.
Right.
How the hell did she do that in that museum or that bank or whatever the hell that was?
Oh yeah, to the one guy.
And not kill all those kids right behind her. I refuse to believe that was just, come on.
That was plot. That's why.
Yeah.
She used that on one guy who she could have just bodied like easily. It's like you really had to use that on just one dude that ran out of bullets. Like, was that necessary?
No, that was my problem with that film, was the way it was edited, because they did that as a transition. That was all that was a transitional move. They used it as a transition, forgetting how ridiculously powerful that attack actually is. Then they use transitional, like they try to go. It's like they were fighting. Well, now granted, it was two directors, so you're going to have those issues. But they had all those transitional scenes where it's like, why don't you just finish the scene and then go to the next scene? Like when the parademon is in like Cyborg's dad's apartment, I'm like, why are you acting like this is all super suspenseful and we got to wonder what's about to happen next? Or when the parademon was about to capture the janitor, it's like, why are y'all using all these goofy little transitions? Just finish the scene and move to the next thing. It's like you're not making it suspenseful. Anybody that's ever seen a movie knows what's about to happen. So I did, the editing and the pacing in that film really bugged me. I mean, it just did. Now, granted, I enjoyed it the first time watching it, but then that stuff got real.
Like you noticed it after a while.
The second time through, it was like, God, man. I get that there were two directors, but don't make it this painfully obvious.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's just one of those things where you could definitely see. This is just one of the examples that you watch a movie, you could tell there were too many cooks in the kitchen producing this movie. It was painfully obvious. And the sad thing is that like you see the potential it had. You see a good movie there, but it wasn't brought out. They just couldn't bring it out because they just had too many. There was too many decisions being made, and that made the movie suffer.
I want to get a hold of that. What?
I'm sorry. Superman looked like, remember in the original Batman when Jack Nicholson had his makeup over his face with that smile? That's how Superman looked like.
Wow. Life's been good to me.
That's cold, man.
You can't tell me it.
Now, here's the thing, though. I will give the movie its props because it had its moments that were like really, really good. Like the Flash and Superman stare down. That
was awesome.
That was like the
dope.
coolest part. I'm just sitting there, just like, dude, they're about to go there, and then they did. It was just like, well done. It's like this is awesome.
It's just funny because like, why did like Superman ended up being like the best villain in the movie though?
Yeah, he was better than Steppenwolf, man.
Because technically he is, and that's where that was to me is a lost opportunity. It's like if you're going to kill him off and then bring him back, and now granted, like okay, you bring him back. If you brought him back and Steppenwolf wasn't even around, and it's like, dude, Superman is pissed and he's mad and we can't control him. What the hell are we going to do against this? And if they would have let that narrative go for like a good 20, 30 minutes, I would have enjoyed that film.
That factors into the original ending of the movie. It was going to be this thing where, again, it was part of dropping Darkseid from it. But at the end, I think they might have even were going to defeat Steppenwolf in a different way. But it was going to be Steppenwolf was going to try to convince Superman to come over to their side, and then Superman was going to have this vision, and they were going to reprise the nightmare scene from Batman versus Superman. So, you know, that scene would make sense to more people than just hardcore comic book fans. And you were going to see Darkseid on Apocalypse. And then once Steppenwolf boomed back to Apocalypse after he was defeated, Darkseid was going to kill him and say, I'm going to Earth to meet the Kryptonian for myself. And that was going to lead to Justice League too. Because when you look at it now, you can really see that and why this did not have the epic scope like, say, even the first Avengers did. Because we remember Justice League was originally supposed to be 2 parts. And you can see, look at it, even with the reshoots, you can see this looked like a setup movie because even though we know Steppenwolf's end goal was to, you know, terraform the Earth to become, you know, another apocalypse or whatever, the stakes didn't feel as grandiose in the third act because it looked like, oh, the Justice League is saving this remote town with a population of 5. So we didn't get that same feeling as, oh, you know, the Chitauri are tearing up New York. And one other thing to you, GQ, when you're talking about the suspenseful scene in Silas Stone's apartment, the scene that built up to that with, you know, the parademon, maybe he's giving Silas Stone some phone calls, you know, he's just breathing on the other end and hangs up. You know, he does that for like 3 nights. And then he just goes up in his apartment, you know, he's like, hey, sweetheart. And
something, man. Sabrina, what were you about to say?
I don't even remember now.
You're gonna start writing these down.
Well, is there any other? I mean, obviously that was a huge disappointment and deservedly so. But was there any other disappointing things that happened in 2017?
Guardians 2.
Jeepers Creepers 3.
Guardians 2. Interesting.
Yeah, Guardians was okay.
I want to hear Jeepers Creepers 3. I gotta hear this.
Oh my god. Okay, Sabrina, would you like to go?
Yeah,
we'll talk about it.
That's all, Sabrina. Let her go.
I mean, we waited for that. Like, we waited for like a third movie for so long, and it's like a horror movie, so I don't necessarily like sequels. They're not supposed to be the best, but like that movie, I watched like the first 10 minutes of it and I was already kind of like confused. I was like, what time period does this happen in? And where what's actually going on? Like, this is from like in between like the first and the second, but it turns out that it was like right directly after the first movie, and they were talking about stuff that happened way before the first movie that they never really explained. And it just didn't answer any questions. It just left you with more questions.
Look, this is what the Creeper was having abilities that never were even explained in the first. This fool
yeah,
like,
for real.
First of all, he's coming out in the daytime. That make no sense because he's coming out at nighttime. Then all of a sudden, his truck can drive by itself, and his truck has like gadgets in there and gadgets and shit. Like, makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Why did it have power?
Can I jump in here for a second? Can I tell y'all something? I think LGZ might be literally ready to go to the cuckoo's nest. She said Jeepers Creepers 3 was the best horror movie of all of 2017.
No, she's trolling you, right? And you believing it?
It's like,
no. I have no interest in this movie. She got to be trolling y'all. She said y'all tripping and going overboard with this hate tonight. It's not me. It's not me.
Even trolls are like things under the bridge. You don't see them.
I have nothing to do. I have no vested interest in this in that movie. Like Jeepers Creepers, I haven't seen a single one. Not one, not two. So
I watched it because like my Jeepers Creepers is like my husband and his like my father-in-law like really liked the first two, so we watched the third one together. bad. That was like one of the most disappointing movies for me. Maybe even more than Justin League. I don't know.
And sure, you haven't seen Fifth Element, so what are you talking about?
I don't care. So what's that got to do with the presidency in China? Nothing.
2018. It's 2018.
It don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That has nothing to do with her and her just outright just being crazy. Saying Batman vs Superman was nothing other than trash. She ain't trolling the shit out of me because, like I said, I don't care about Jeepers Creepers. I don't care.
Listen,
the third movie just had so much working against it coming out because like all that stuff about the director and stuff came out and they canceled premieres and whatnot. And then on top of it, a lot of people said the movie was garbage. So it was kind of DOA on it when it was.
Anthony Mentor picked a big one, even though it wasn't a disappointment for me, but Ghost in the Shell. I liked Ghost in the Shell. I think GQ liked Ghost in the Shell. Dido liked Ghost in the Shell, but a lot of people, they got caught up in that whitewashing controversy, and honestly, it was kind of doomed to begin with because there was it was almost the same way Justice League kind of fell victim to this. It was just this the online keyboard warriors just really went at Ghost in the Shell and just kind of killed that movie before it really even had
before it even came out.
Yeah, before it even had a chance.
They did that exactly the same way Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They tried to do that style.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, yes, but I still felt like Ghostbusters really wasn't that good of a movie. And I'm not saying that as someone that didn't see it. I did see it, and I didn't like it. I didn't think it was good.
The thing, I still haven't seen Ghostbusters. I just think that like overall what hurt that movie initially was just the fact that their marketing was misleading when they dropped that first trailer, because up to this point, they kept saying it was a reboot, but the way the trailer made it seem like it was a continuation. So it's like, wait a minute, which is it then? So
the comic book explains it all.
It kind of is like a continuation, sort of.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like they've been saying it's a reboot, so it's like they don't even know what the hell they want it to be. And at the same time, it's like you already like pissing off fans, so they're already like, you know what? I don't even want to see this shit now.
Now, I'm going to take us back to an episode of this show from 2016 when we were talking about movies.
This dude throwing it way back. Wow. Okay.
It's one of my favorite quotes from you, Ken Shiro.
What's that?
I grew up on Ghostbusters. I know the first two movies back and forth. If you remember, I had a dream that I went to go see the new Ghostbusters and fell asleep in the theater because it was so bad. And then someone in the chat's like, it can't be that bad. And you countered with, if dudes are having nightmares, it's that bad.
Yeah. Yeah. If dudes are having nightmares, it is that bad. And like literally, I fell asleep in the movie too, and I took my kids to see it. Like,
all right. I think Dido was about to jump in on something.
Go ahead, Dido. What were you gonna say, man?
It's my turn now.
You could jump in just like everybody else jumped in. Go ahead, dude.
I tried jumping in a couple of times and I got run over. So
take your turn. Take your time. Say your piece.
Mack trucks, man. I'm just a little Fiat right now. No, anyway, biggest freaking disappointment was the only movie I watched that was disappointed was Chips. Glad I didn't.
Why'd you go see that? Like, really?
I didn't. I watched it on the airplane. I didn't go pay for that movie. I was just disappointed because I wasted my time watching that shit.
So you want your time back, huh?
I mean, I was on an airplane. What else was I gonna do?
Watch something else?
I watched like 5 movies. So,
I hear you.
And I also thought Assassin's Creed, but that didn't come out. I think that was 2016.
Was that 2016?
But I watched it this year. I don't know exactly.
Wait, no. I think Creed came out the very beginning of the year. I think that was one of the first movies that came out this year.
That was really disappointing.
Terrible. That movie was
very disappointing because it didn't have to be garbage. It was just like you watching cutscenes from a video game with no.
Except for the video game cutscenes were way better.
Oh yeah, it was way better, and you also had some kind of consequence, and it just seemed like it just was. No, they messed that movie up. So, and Resident Evil, gosh,
dude,
I had no expectation. I watched it on the airplane. It was disappointment. I didn't go pay money for this stuff. I was stuck on a 16-hour flight. I'm not gonna friggin', you can't go to sleep. You gotta adjust your time. adjust your time. So like those are 3 movies that I watched that I was disappointed.
You know, you should have did on the airplane. You should have picked up the what was that? The Batman book where Bane broke his back. What was it called?
Nightfall.
I think I was reading.
Yeah,
I think I was reading
yeah.
Invincible because this year I think I read Invincible, and I also was reading it. Was it this year? I'm not sure. Irredeemable.
Yeah, that was.
Yes.
That was. Yeah.
Yes.
You said it was
I think I read those this year, and those to me were like really, really good. But you know, when you're on a plane, you're just like, oh, I don't have to pay for it. Let me check it out. And yeah, I was disappointed. But all the movies I saw in the theaters, I wasn't disappointed. But not one of them saw in the theaters. Just that shit I was watching on the plane.
I don't know.
Resident Evil, Assassin's Creed, and Chips. Terrible.
Hold on.
And
Tony Young said
puke.
Yeah, Tony Young said Baywatch. I can't agree with that. Baywatch was good.
No, I like Baywatch.
Oh,
I actually enjoyed that one.
I still need to see Baywatch. I haven't seen it yet.
If you need a palate cleanser after Resident
Oh yeah, Death Note. Tony Mentor. Or excuse me, Anthony, because Tony's the wife. But Anthony, Death Note. Fucking shit. Holy shit. Oh my god.
I almost
Eric,
refuse to see that on
cleanser,
GP, man.
If you need a palate cleanser after Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, watch Resident Evil Vendetta, the animated one that came out a few months back.
That was good.
Yeah,
Vendetta
was good. Vendetta was good.
Did anyone check out Triple X Return of Xander Cage?
No,
I
I
liked
didn't
it.
see that. I watched it.
No,
I
I
didn't
didn't.
think it was that bad.
No, I
felt
didn't.
like I was
like
watching Fast and the Furious though.
I liked it.
I saw Fast 8. I like Fast 8.
Yeah, Fast 8 was good too.
Fast
My
8 was
biggest
great.
gripe
I liked it.
My biggest gripe with Return of Xander Cage is they should have left Ice Cube out of the trailers in the TV spot. They should have just let it just be like a shock that he was in the movie. They should have. It's like because they
See, I didn't even see any of those, so that's news to me.
Nah, they threw it right up. They threw it right up there in the TV spots in the trailers. I'm like, you don't.
Yeah.
If he's gonna be a guest, especially the way they hyped it up in the movie. It's like dial 9.
Oh, okay. I got one. That did a movie that definitively disappointed me. All Lies on Me. That movie disappointed me.
It disappointed a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah,
it disappointed a lot of people. A lot of people were disappointed with that.
Listen, number one, I already know the Tupac story. I don't need to see a whole another Tupac story.
Come on, man. You know they was gonna capitalize on that after Straight Outta Compton.
They
Come on now.
about to gear up. They about to gear up and do another miniseries about the death of Biggie and Tupac.
Straight.
Why? We already know. We was there.
Oh, that what you talking about? That movie that's come on USA?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's got my man from Transformers in it. But it's like you have to remember, just we lived through it, but a lot of people like that are younger than us didn't. They don't know the story.
Dude, you just realize that people born 1997 are 21 years old.
True.
Yeah.
Man, stop.
So it's like people like that. It's just my brain. Isn't that your daughter? She's 21. She's about to turn 21.
She's gonna turn 20.
That's how old my sister is.
She's gonna turn 20 this year. Thank you.
Oh, 20.
And yes, I do look young. I do look young, and I will claim that.
Either way it goes, Kenshiro messed up that whole plan. We had a whole plan for her first date, man. You messed it up.
We sure did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We was gonna pull the Bad Boys too on young man. Yeah, we was gonna pull Bad Boys too on that.
Like all the boys is gonna come over and be like, look, she got a lot of uncles. All of us are crazy. Like, all right,
cool. So enough disappointments. Let's get back to
real quick.
Detroit.
That
Disappointment?
movie, a lot of people, it would disappoint the hell out of me. It felt like I was watching a horror movie that happened in real life.
It was.
Almost, isn't that kind of the point, though? Wasn't that kind of the point?
I don't know if that was supposed to be the point of the movie, but it was definitely a fucking horror movie.
It kind of was, Dido. It kind of was supposed to be a horror flick.
No, what's that word when you get no resolve? I didn't see any resolve. It's like you had a fucking horror movie with no resolve. And this shit happened in real life. That shit's terrible, America.
But the thing is, that's a true story, though. So you can't,
I know that's terrible.
You can't wrap it up in a bow if it didn't have an actual happy ending.
Right. There was no happy ending there. There was no happy ending there at all.
Listen,
they couldn't have made that movie.
There's nothing retconning that.
Right. They're gonna be like, oh wait, extremely loosely based on a true story. Because we changed the ending.
But then they like paint it before this credits roll.
Right, they can put it in there like painting and be like, oh yeah, by the way, this is still a true story.
Yep.
I haven't watched Pain and Gain since I saw it in the theater. That movie was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. So hey, so we talked enough about disappointments and avoided LGZ's non-troll job because she was dead ass serious. If y'all weren't paying attention, she actually said it. She was dead ass serious. So anyway, let's talk about some more stuff that we did actually love. Briefly, for those of us that's watched anime, what were some of the dopest anime that you guys saw this year? I know My Hero Academia season 2 was fire this year. It really was. A lot of people really like Black Clover. A lot of people have been digging the tournament arc in Dragon Ball Super. You know, Ultra Instinct being what it is, it's almost like classic. You know, going back to like what made DBZ popular back in the day, and you know, the whole Broly Kefla fusion thing was it was kind of cool. So yeah.
I will all just basically say that the Van Damme Kamehameha to the face.
Yeah,
that was probably the best thing from 2017 for anime.
Yeah.
And then I'll just rewatch Tenjo Tenge or something instead.
Right. And shout out to Jiren for being like the most badass don't give a shit Dragon Ball character I've ever seen. Like, dude, Goku was like, oh, hey, it might take me a while to power it up. Jiren was like, I'll wait. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Man,
go ahead. I'll wait.
Jiren came up. He was like, look, fuck your Super Saiyan, fuck your Super
right?
Saiyan blue, red, fuck your Super Saiyan blue, and fuck your Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
He was like, like, I don't give a shit.
I'm like, who is this man?
I don't know, but 2018, Vegeta better get a win.
He better, dude.
Yeah,
like, I'm looking forward to the next episode. I hope he really gets in Jiren's ass. I know he ain't gonna win.
So
but
why
I really hope he gets into it.
It's like they're like fuck Vegeta. Is that what it always been like? It seems
it's
like
always that way, man. It's always.
It might have been like that, but Goku never beat Vegeta.
No, I know that, but what I'm saying is they need to let Vegeta actually finish off one of these, because it's like, dude, they should have, especially because of the personal reason, they should have let him finish off Frieza. Like, yes, they traded.
They could have gave him that,
but yeah, they should have let him get that win, man. That was weak.
The only one Vegeta actually finished off, and you can't even really count him, was Android 19. He was like the only one.
Oh, when he ripped his hands off.
Yeah, he was like the only one.
Yeah, and
pretty much.
And then the worst part is the BoJack movie. It's like Vegeta got the win there.
That was bad.
He just showed up. It was like, shoot your sword. I'm like, oh my god, Vegeta just popped up out of. He was watching this on TV. I'm like, wait a minute, like this man out Piccolo for the intro. But I was like, this is awesome. And then you can't win the movie. I'm like, this is stupid, man. And you get Gohan like that movie and 3 other ones. I'm like, come on, man.
No, you know what's funny about this series is just like how much they've like shitted on Tien since his story started.
But like, he's Tien. What do you expect?
He was a good character at one point.
15 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but even now, it's like, dude, you remember when they were doing the build up for like all the characters that everybody was supposed to be like in the tournament? It's like everybody had their episode to get their little shine before it started. Tien got shitted on in his own episode by Roshi.
But again, you got them comedy relief characters, man. What do you expect? Hold on, Maurice Baker said Vegeta beat up Goku Black.
Beat up, but not really defeated, because Zamasu still kind of wrecked shop on everybody else anyway. So that doesn't really count in my book. We're talking like finish, as in there was nothing after that. Like Android 19, he was done after Vegeta was done with him. Yeah. Goku Black,
like a big bang attack. I'm like, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, Vegeta he hasn't gotten a clean finish in years.
Just for that, when that game comes out, I'm maining Vegeta.
Yeah, I might do that too. Him and Gohan would be my favorites. Man. Yeah, him and Gohan would be my favorites, honestly. When that thing comes out. But was there any other anime? Anybody else watching any other really good anime this year?
No,
it's called Shokugeki no Shoma, also known as Food Wars. If you like to fucking eat and you like anime, boom, cross together. It was amazing. I got my wife to watch it, and it's very difficult to get her to sit down and watch anime, and she will say, hey, when's the next Food Wars out? Is the next Food Wars out? Next Food Wars? I'm like, good.
I watched Classroom.
Oh yeah,
Assassination Classroom. It didn't come out this year.
No, like I think one of the seasons, like I know, I just watched, but I think one of the things came out. There was like a separate episode that I seen.
Maybe
it might have been OVA that might have come out. That might have come out. Yeah.
I watched the entire series and I love that. But
Dexter saying Recreators was one I've actually heard about. Recreators, I heard it was really good. There was another one.
I see that. I got a question to ask you. Like, how did you guys feel about that whole thing with Pikachu talking in that Pokemon movie?
Didn't see it, don't care.
That was jarring, dude. That was a little bit jarring, man. I ain't gonna front. That was a little jarring.
Wait, he actually like can speak like
yes.
Pikachu speaks?
Yes.
Like it's hella weird. It's so weird.
No,
it was really weird, dude. It was weird as hell.
He even gazed in his eyes and shit like he's about to straight kiss him and shit. It was creepy.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
It was
wrong. Weird.
It's no. I'm gonna vote no.
I'm sorry, like see, Pokemon and Power Rangers have that same problem with me. Their first movies were the only ones that I actually consider like anything, because Pokemon, the first movie, when like he basically killed Ash, like that's where I stopped the movie. Like as soon as he kills Ash, I'm like, boom, the movie's done. Because nothing else happens after that film for me. So for them to like go back, because that's why I like Mewtwo. It was like he's the only one that just talks. Like none of this, like, you know, saying my name 50,000 times. He just talked and he was killing everybody. I'm like, Mewtwo is
Meowth, but still.
Well, Meowth doesn't count because he's comedy relief, and Team Rocket blasting off yet again. So
yeah, you're right.
On, I can't even consider them part of the show. They just there to lead just to get kicked away. And if the first Power Rangers movie was great, and then
it was.
Then we got the one that came out this year.
Which I
said the better.
I still like that.
Oh, you liked it?
I liked it. It was very exposition.
It's a reboot. I liked it.
Okay, hold on. Super Nerd, you like it because if we pan that camera of yours to the right a little bit, you will see probably the Dragon Dagger and a couple of other Power Rangers along with a helmet. So you might be seeing that. You might be seeing that a little bit biased. When I sat in that theater, granted, I didn't like Power Rangers quite as much as you did, but then when they started playing that song, I was like, okay,
I was done. I was done.
I was like, dude,
I was the same way, dude. I felt the same way. Like I tried to give it a chance.
It's like after I know you did because I was there, but at the same time, after all that we had to sit through, it's like you think you earned this theme song? No, I was ready to leave. I'm like, no, dude, you can't.
Yeah, I was done, man.
It was like, look, I know for me personally, like, look, I mean, it was nostalgic to hear, but at the same time, it did feel
it was so out of place, man. It was so out of place.
I like the movie though. Like it was, they could have just shortened the exposition like quite a bit, but other than that, I thought it was okay.
Hey, you know what? Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa was actually pretty good. I like.
She
I would agree with that.
She was a beast, actually.
She was a beast, dude. I liked it.
But I did not like putties as training dummies. I'm like, what the hell is this? Y'all just generating putties for them to fight now? It's like that was supposed to be Rita's thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not granted. I have no problems with reimaginings, but the pacing of that movie was turtle slow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Tony Young actually mentioned Castlevania on Netflix. I forgot about that. That was really good.
Yeah.
I can't wait for more of that to come out.
It was good.
That was
disappointing.
That was disappointing to you? Why?
It was too goddamn short.
More.
Yeah.
We need more.
What was it?
Hold on.
Episodes?
Kevin Goyad is also saying it's not anime, but Goblin Slayer was a good manga, is what he was saying. It's got like 20 chapters. That was a good one as well.
Yeah, I have to check that out, honestly.
I know what was good for 2017 that we missed out.
What's that? Gucci
Man getting out of jail. I'm joking. He is not a clone, everybody. Gucci Man is not a clone.
All right, a little bit mean there.
All right, cool. So
that was also awesome last year. The main meme,
right?
Super Mine, Iron Mine.
Let's see. What else we got?
Memes.
I know, man. You know, that was the other thing we got this year. All the main posters starring Terrence Howard. That was.
Oh my!
Those were great, dude. Yeah, those are absolutely great.
I don't know. My favorite one so far has been that Android 18 and 17. That's been my favorite one. Like that was
the New Year's
one.
The New Year's one.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
You don't get it?
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It says goodbye 20, hello 20.
No!
Android 17 and 18.
No!
It's Android 17 and 18.
Goodbye
Really?
2017, hello 2018.
Oh
My goodness, man! You gotta be kidding me!
I didn't get it.
You gotta be kidding me!
Goodbye 20, hello 20. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't get it.
Wow.
Well, thank
Wow.
You Dido.
Well, I was a little bit slow.
Man, I wish I had a Willy. I wish I had the Willy Wonka like just queued up right now, man. You get nothing.
Nothing.
Hey, sir.
Speaking of which, I'm actually gonna get that. I'm gonna get one of those Elgato Stream Decks, so we'll be able to have those right on hand, so we can.
Man, hold on.
Type them up.
Matter of fact, that might almost excuse Kenshiro not watching Fifth Element all these years.
No, it doesn't. Nope, because that's over 20 years, bro.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
True. That is a long
I'll
time.
take it.
All
right, so
I didn't catch it because that was their names. I didn't catch it, but hey.
Yeah. So all right, so here we go. We've got comic books to talk about as well, and then we're going to finish it up with because we've almost gone. We've gone like in 90 minutes, but
Wait, what comic book?
I'm not comic books. I'm sorry, TV shows. We're going to talk about TV shows. Like, what was the best TV shows that you guys saw 2017? This
What
past
about
year.
ones that's like still going on, but it, it's still.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, just like whatever you saw.
I got two right now. I have to say is The Gifted and Runaways.
Okay.
Those
I've only seen like the first 3 or 4 episodes of Runaway. No, I forget which one because they haven't put the rest of them on.
Yeah,
and then
they're
I'm waiting.
on there.
Well, now they are. I'm waiting.
No,
for them to
they come
build
out.
up.
There's a new episode every Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
Yeah,
is a new
that's the
episode.
thing. If I'm streaming like that, I don't like that. Give me them all like that.
Right.
I'll just wait.
So
I can... Dadakuj, you can't have everything.
Netflix has spoiled you, man.
It
Netflix
did.
Really don't.
Because The Punisher was freaking super awesome. I freaking
Punisher
blew
was
through
good.
all of iZombie on Netflix, which I friggin' loved. It's just Netflix when it comes
Eric
to
will be
Black
very happy
Mirror.
to hear that.
Granted,
by the
Black
way.
Mirror is now, not last year, but still, just having all that right there, watch it. It's great. And when the Runaways came out, and I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I'm waiting for the next one. I'm like, wait. And then I kept going to it, and I don't know if they were like on some kind of mid-season break. I'm like, it's a streaming show. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It takes time to make stuff. See, look, you getting all spoiled, man. Because it's like back
man, I mean, really, man.
We grew up back in the day
us.
when you had to set the VCR or set the timer to record.
Absolutely. I remember that. Yeah,
I don't want to hear this streaming it all in one day and all that.
Oh gosh, come on! I love it.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Come on
it's
now.
great to wait. Because
We had to
Agents of
watch.
Shield. Agents of Shield is doing it. Dude.
Agents of
I
Shield
know.
was fire. It was fire this year. It's fire
We grew up having to watch one episode of Batman the Animated Series per day.
per day.
One episode of X-Men per week. That was it. So I don't want to hear it.
Spider-Man 2 as well.
Yep.
Per week.
Yeah, for me, it's The Gifted and The Punisher this year. Like the Punisher was really hitting me in my feels that I didn't think it was gonna do that, because I don't know why, but like when everything came to a head at that last episode, like when him and his boy was fighting and shit. Like at the end, like I don't know why, but like that shit had me so emotional. Like it had me in tears that last episode. And it was like I didn't expect that show to hit me like that. It was a damn good show.
That show was intense.
Yeah, that was them.
It was
flexing,
good.
yeah, that was them flexing their. We can still go deep and dark if we really have to. Muscle. That's what that was.
Yeah,
that was like that was like oh, Disney and Marvel are only about jokes and fun and nothing light and heavy. Oh, really? Okay, hold my beer. Like,
Yeah,
it was just like
they did, dude.
They'll never do it in the MCU proper.
They don't need to, because the thing is, it's like, here's the thing. And again, I hate to keep coming back to Justice League, but that's what happened with Batman. Batman suddenly went from dark and brooding, I'm going to beat the hell out of a whole warehouse full of goons, to
Adam West.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adam freaking West.
Thank Joss Whedon for that.
And it doesn't matter. That's what got on the screen. That's what the studio execs watched and greenlit and said, "Let's go."
Because Joss Whedon's a hack who only made 2 good movies in his whole life, being Avengers and Cabin in the Woods. I'm going to commit geek blasphemy and say everything the guy's done is shit.
You know, and that's fine.
What?
That's,
Even
again,
Firefly?
No, I can't let you dog
He
Firefly.
did Buffy and Angel too.
But
I think Sliders.
But no, it's not even so much just about the Joss Whedon thing. It's the fact that because of they don't have a set plan in stone of this is our vision for all of the stuff we'd like to do. That's why they keep dropping the ball. Yeah. Granted, I have no problems that MCU will never go as dark as Punisher. It shouldn't, because again, they're going to cut out quite a bit of their money-making audience if they do go that dark. It'd be stupid to do that after establishing 18 movies worth of here's where we'll go. Here's where Captain America gets a little bit dark and deep and whatnot. Here's where Guardians brings it kind of back up to the fun and happy and whatever. They bounce back and forth between it, and it's making them money hand over fist. That's still the name of the game. I don't care how much comic book fans and movie people and all that is. At the end of the day, if it's not making money, they're not going to do it. So
yeah, I mean,
it's
and
a
that's
successful formula, man. They got it, and I have absolutely no problem with them because Punisher is supposed to be that dark. That's what Netflix is for.
Yep. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, that's the difference between with Marvel and their comic books. You got your comic books and main continuity, and then you got the Marvel Knights and the Marvel Max shit.
Yep.
So,
that's what I think. That's why I think X-Men and Deadpool and all that are going to fall into that Marvel Knights category. They'll easily bring that back because I mean, hell, let's not forget Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie.
Yes, it is. Not to mention all the other movies that are now Disney movies,
like Alien. Hey, every single freaking face hugger is a princess.
And not only
a Disney
that,
princess.
Not only that, Die Hard is now a Disney movie as well.
And people talk about these great, Disney show tunes and movies. So now I'm saying the best Disney show tune ever was that guy singing in the fan tunnel in Alien 3.
Exactly. I'm so saying, dude. Because you know, it would be so funny if they troll everybody and make the alien queen a Disney princess.
Oh my god,
that would be.
These suckers should be the princesses.
No. It's because they're not female or male. They just are. The queen, is a female.
Like
for a fact.
Like the rest of them are just drones. Like just
most drones are female.
It was ahead of its time.
If they don't have any freaking queen, one of them turns into a queen, so all the drones are female.
No.
It wasn't conforming
like
to
bees.
Gender norms society sets.
Wait, or what?
I was saying Alien was ahead of its time. It wasn't conforming to these gender norms that society sets.
Now, granted, it does lay an egg inside the preschool, but at the same time, that egg is fertilized and it's ready to go. So
yeah,
they probably both.
Yeah,
it could be both.
That's a fair argument.
But I swear to goodness, I'm gonna find somebody to put the alien queen in a dress and have her standing right next to Bill and
yo, stop.
I'm thinking, I don't care. I think it'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'll totally do it.
Yo, Dexter Dexter has the right idea. He said he says an alien bursts out of victim's chest and then sings "Let It Go."
Like you better off using the Predator because at least they can talk.
No, but Predators are mainly male.
I mean,
they have females, but the females. I mean, I hate to say this. This is how they do it on their planet. I forgot the name of their planet, but the females be at home cooking and cleaning. I'm sorry, that's the truth. It's a warrior society. You know full well that's what they do. And they hunters and gatherers and going out there killing, and all the women are at home with their weird looking mandibles, with aprons and cooking stuff.
That's why in the new one you're gonna have like that one lone female predator that's the hunter.
That's gonna be awesome, dude. And that's Fox too now. So yeah, we can get a predator princess. That's gonna be.
There you go. As long as Ridley Scott doesn't touch aliens anymore, I'm good.
Oh no, Ridley Scott is done. I'm sorry. That was another big disappointment. Even though I didn't even care about Prometheus because it was boring to me, but that freaking Alien Covenant was garbage.
Garbage.
It was the same fucking
James
movie. It was the
couldn't
same.
Bring back Cameron.
Yeah, dude, I couldn't. I was sitting there watching that. I'm like, you're really gonna follow him down there? Just creepy, like creepy android dude. You just gonna...
I got something to show you. Hey,
Right.
put your face in it.
Yeah, why did he do? No, yeah, why did he do that?
Because
I mean,
Alien Covenant and Prometheus scientists are the dumbest scientists in existence. Big Pippa J goes on about this all the time. It's like the very first thing you see is a little like snake-looking thing that hisses at the guy. Oh, let me get a little bit closer. If a cat hisses at you, do you get closer to it?
Look,
Oh,
that
no.
movie, that franchise has proven that scientists are some of the dumbest people in that series. Okay.
Oh yeah.
game over.
Oh yeah. I yes. I think I said it on the episode. Go ahead.
It's like they just like it's just in general, like any sci-fi movie where they deal with things like that, like scientists are always the dumbest ones in the group. That one, fucking Deep Blue Sea, stupid.
Let me put let me put my hand in his butthole. Let me see what if it's gonna do. I don't know what the weird science do in the movies.
The next thing you know, he's missing a limb.
I mean, right. I mean, I said it on the episode of Game way back, like when we were talking about Prometheus, as a matter of fact, and I said like I think it was D and Kenshiro on the panel. I was like, dude, if I love y'all like brothers, but if y'all ever show up at my doorstep with your legs up over your head like this, like over your shoulders, and like you somehow rang the doorbell, I'm leaving your ass out there. I'm sorry. I love y'all like brothers, but no. Why would you
coming in
here?
Listen, if I see y'all like that, I'm getting a shotgun and a fire in a gasoline can.
Dude, it'd be just like the Thing. Like you gonna be like just carrying like flamethrowers like at the ready.
Right. Hold on. That's actually something I wanted to bring up. Yeah, I know this is not even about your interview because we're kind of way past that a little bit. But who remembers the end of The Thing?
The first
I
one?
do.
Yeah, the one with
the original with Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Kurt Russell and Keith David.
And Keith David.
Yeah.
Which do y'all think that Keith David was actually the Thing at the end of it?
I did.
You do or you don't?
I think he is.
I did.
I think he's the Thing.
Okay. Who else thinks that? But why? Why though?
Because he wasn't around half the time. Because Kurt was around it, so I think when you got infected by the Thing, it could have been a touch of the skin or something. Who knows what happened when he was blowing it up the whole time and being that close proximity to it? He could have got infected. So I think Kurt Russell was infected.
Okay. Any other theories?
No.
I honestly don't know.
Here's why I think that Keith David was the Thing at the end of it. It was Arctic chill, right? Wherever the heck they were at. We're all from cold weather climate.
You know, black people don't like cold weather.
It don't matter. Why didn't Keith David have any breath when he was breathing?
Ooh.
Because Kurt Russell was breathing like, we all know you use all that mist and steam because it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
Keith David was breathing just as much as he was nothing. Absolutely.
I have to go back and watch that.
I didn't think about that.
Because I was looking at that the other day. I'm like, wait a minute. And I love how they did it because it was subtle. It was like, unless you really are paying attention, and again, or you are from a cold weather climate where the second it goes down to like 30 degrees, you can start to see your breath. I was like, why when he's talking, I'm getting nothing. So I was like, okay, that was really well done. So I'm let me diverge for a second.
Let me ask you this. So when the other quote unquote things that was out there, because remember the Fuchs, when he was outside, he was breathing cold, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But I think, like I said, I think when they get to that part, because again, that was the twist ending, particularly. So I think they focused it at that moment. They focused on that.
So you're saying basically when he fully got assimilated, that's when they don't breathe the cold. Because remember, he was partial. He wasn't fully
right.
Turning. Okay, so I guess that could make some sense.
I think, like I said, I think that's my, because again, they always left it open ended. But I'm like, I was just watching that the other day, and then when you said the Thing, I'm like, huh, that was an interesting thing.
Okay.
Those are for people who know anything about One Piece. You don't have to ask.
Well, hey, I thought that was your alarm going off or something, like, you know.
No,
that
was just the decks.
That was timed a little too perfect, but I'll allow it.
It really was, man. It really was. Let's see. So, was there anything else that we needed to go over for? Oh no, we were saying best TV shows. Like, we completely went off tangent off of that. Did everybody else get to mention their TV shows? Mine were
Twin Peaks.
Wait, which one?
Twin Peaks.
The return.
The remake.
They did showing it again this year. Yeah, there you go.
So Brenda, give me a little backstory, because I remember Twin Peaks back in the day, but I never really got into it. Compared to the original one, how was the newer one? Is it have the same feel?
It's the same guy. So they just, like, I don't know if you watched Twin Peaks, but the end of, like, Twin Peaks, because there was only 2 seasons, I think, or 1. There's like 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, and like the very last one, Dale Cooper, like, looks into a mirror and he's got like the bad guy in him, like the evil is in him because he got stuck behind like the curtain in like another dimension. So in this one, it's like him trying to get back to the real world. And he, like, tries to go back and get rid of all the evil from the town that happened because that girl died in the very original first season.
Interesting.
So, if you had any questions about, like, Twin Peaks and, like, how... Because it was weird. It was, like, one of those, like, Twilight Zone kind of... Like, the whole show in itself. So, like, if you had questions and wanted them answered, you could watch The Return. And they answered, like, a lot of them.
Gotcha.
And, like, left more mystery.
Okay, so there's this one show that I watched on Netflix, but I caught like a few episodes towards the end of the season. I didn't see the very first few seasons. I was watching with my girlfriend. Was The Mist.
Oh yeah, I watched it. I watched The Mist too.
And I was like, damn, why didn't I watch this a long time ago with her? I just caught like maybe like 4 episodes until the end of the season, and I was like, damn, this is really good. I'm kind of want to see what the second season is gonna be about.
I think they dropped it though, so I don't think there is a second season because it got. I think that was a Spike TV show.
Really?
I think it was.
I thought it was straight Netflix.
Wait, Spike TV still exists?
Exactly.
It does.
No, it doesn't anymore.
Oh no, it don't
anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
Like as of like 2018. So I think like that was the last show, one of the last shows that they had.
Yeah, Spike TV started off strong, man. They had Stripperella and Gary the Rat. That was awesome.
Other than Cops reruns.
Right.
No, they had Stripperella and Gary the Rat. Yeah, 1,000 Ways to Die was cool. Oh, wait, hold on.
No, I like Rick, by the way.
Oh, God, TV shows. Why have I not brought this up? Lethal Weapon. That show has been great.
Okay.
Really now?
Okay.
I've heard that.
Lethal Weapon's actually been really good.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah, well, Rick and Morty's always been good.
Rick and Morty.
What's up to Simon Says? LGZ in the comments. I don't know if we should read it or not because she's been crazy here tonight. But she says Shameless and Ray Donovan were good. And Black Mirror.
Megan Sean loves that Ray Donovan.
Yeah, he does.
Shameless.
I'm waiting for Netflix. Wait for Netflix.
Stranger Things.
Yes,
Absolutely.
They've been strong.
Still have to watch the series. I've been late.
I bought the
What is the matter? You know what? I can't even say anything.
I mean,
I can't say nothing.
Hey, it's one of the ones that slipped through the cracks. Okay, I've been meaning to sit down and watch it.
Not only that, I've been keeping up with Suits, man. Suits is more important to me.
That show's still on.
Yes, it is. That show is great. I don't know what's gonna happen with it though, because Meghan Markle is about to become royalty. So
yep,
I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Hey, can I ask y'all a quick question or tell y'all something? I'm just
make it real quick so we can wrap it up.
I'm just reading something that said Thanos' real name is Dion. What?
What?
It's, I'm reading around this all over the interwebs right now. Like I'm looking at
Are
Sci-Fi
you
Wire,
serious?
and it says
That's
Thanos'
some
birth
weird
name.
dark webs.
Yeah,
You know what?
dude, it's on IGN, all this, but it says Thanos' birth name, the one his mother chose for him before a single glance at her son drove her insane, is Dion. If I'm reading this correctly, is Dion. So
Dion
he's black.
what? Dion what?
Hold
It ain't-
Dion
I guess
Smith.
that's more relatable than Darkseid's birth name. Anyone else knows it offhand? Because I do.
I
Wait,
remember
what-
it. I just haven't heard it in a while.
It's
D-I-O.
it's
Is that?
I don't know how to pronounce it quite, but isn't it like Uxas or something like UXAS?
Yes, it's Uxas
Yes,
or something.
Uxas or something like that.
Yeah. No, it is
Wait,
weird,
no.
but I mean, as long as it's like, hey, as long as his name ain't, Dion
Jackson.
Jenkins.
Deion Jackson from 125th Street.
Right.
Harlem.
I mean, the way he rolled up in the trailer.
Hey, right? Y'all trying to make
With
y'all
that square
trying
hanging out his mouth.
y'all trying to make him out to be Debo and whatnot. So maybe. Man, they
All right, so hey.
the red trailer was still the best trailer of 2017. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah,
Right. So we had an awesome whole bunch of trailers came out this year. Ready Player One, obviously, the film is obviously my favorite trailer besides the Infinity War that's gonna be coming out next year. And speaking of Infinity War, that's coming out this year. But one of the things we're gonna try to do is we're gonna start a watch party, and we're gonna do it via Rabbit. We're gonna start watching every single week. Every single film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is leading up to Infinity War when it comes out in, was it July, I think?
May.
So
Wait, what?
May?
What?
Sorry.
Hold on.
Sorry.
May.
Real? Okay, no, you may as well throw that Fifth Element thing back on you after you said it.
Right.
All right, whatever. So we think we're going to do it on Sunday. So if you would like to follow along with us and watch every single movie, you know, when we're going to be in the video, we're going to chat. We're going to chat. We're going to talk about the film and what we like about it. It looks like we put up a poll in our discussion group, and it looks like the consensus is Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be the date and time.
Theater
Okay.
3000.
Yeah, Culture Junkies Theater. Culture Junkies. Yeah, I like that. Culture Junkies Theater. Yeah. So we hope that you will join us for that. We had an awesome show this week. We went very long this week, almost clocked in at 2 hours this time, guys. So we are going to go ahead and get out of here. We won't take up any more of your time. Next week, we're going to have a special guest. GamerGad is going to rejoin the show, talking about video game music and some other stuff. I already talked to him, and he's agreed to be on the show. So he's going to be on next week. So look forward to that. So Junkies, we hope you all had a really fantastic new year. Well, now it's back to reality, but it's also back to the fun of Culture Junkies Live. I'm Kenshiro, and for the rest of the Junkies, there's almost too many to name, so I won't bother doing so. They can all say goodbye for themselves. I'm saying goodnight now. Peace out.
Catch you on the flip side.
Later, peoples. Enjoy the rest of the year.
Nerd, plus.
Got a great year to look forward to.
Wait a minute, we gotta watch them all before Black Panther comes
Happy
out.
New Year!
We do.
That's gonna be too hard to do. No, there's no way we can do that. There's no way we
Well,
can do that.
they claim that if we watch the movie like every week up until it comes
Mhm.
out. we either
Yeah,
be
Infinity
right
War.
on time.
We can't make Black Panther. Come on now.
Hyperbolic chamber. We're gonna make it work.
That means
Hyperbaric time chamber. Yes. All right.
That
See you
means
guys
you
later.
watch-
Have a great week.
See ya. Peace. I got cool things on my mind.